How much of SpongeBob is script versus improvisation?
Well, what we do is we usually do 3 takes of everything. So the first 2 takes, they encourage us greatly to do them as written.
From front to end?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the third take, we get to play. So it's both. So it ends up with the showrunner and the editors and everybody else to decide which takes they like. But the improv is always in there. But yes, they prefer as written, then play.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Was Sandy always in love with Texas from the beginning?
Oh, yeah.
That's how the creator saw it?
Yes. And here's another, Steve. When I got hired, he gave, and I wish I had kept it. I don't know what the heck. You know, you don't know in a life like what's going to become iconic or whatever. You just have no idea. But he had sent me these stacks of information. I mean, binders of information on the ocean, on squirrels, on Texas, and I just looked at it and was like, oh my goodness. I don't know that I can meet this man's expectations. Yeah, so all that was there in his mind from the beginning.
And that was your first intro to Sandy Cheeks.
Right. I mean, I auditioned for her, but when you audition, they just give you a little tiny, paragraph of dialogue and a little explanation of what she is.
Do you get art of what she looks like?
Did I have art? Good question. This goes into the blur scenario. Yes, there was probably a drawing. Yeah. And it says, like, she's a squirrel. She's from Texas. She's a scientist. She's smart. She's athletic, or things like that. And then they give you the little blurb. And I remember thinking, okay, obviously she's very bright. And squirrels are very fast. They chatter. And so those were the things I tried to hook into.
And the strongest critter in Bikini Bottom.
The strongest. She's the strongest and the smartest.
That was so cool. You also voiced on Jimmy Neutron. You did Cindy Vortex.
Yeah.
Did that help segue you into SpongeBob? Did they see your work from that?
No. Actually, I was doing SpongeBob first.
Oh, SpongeBob came out first.
We did SpongeBob in 99.
Oh, when did Jimmy Neutron come out?
I don't know.
I thought Jimmy Neutron was first.
Am I wrong? I could be wrong. I don't track time well. This is something we can all learn about me. I do not track time well, which is probably why I had my second child at 49. I'm just saying.
Was SpongeBob really in development since 1994?
Yeah. I mean, those things they work on forever.
Before they actually get to the network to start filming?
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah. A lot of things stay in development for a crazy amount of time. Or they'll do a pilot and then it sits somewhere and nobody can decide whether they want to green light it or not. And the powers that be have to figure out all sorts of who knows what. And it sits there for a while before they decide to move forward.
Do you remember SpongeBob's debut episode? Were you watching it?
I was not watching it.
You weren't?
No.
Do you remember the first time you saw it on TV?
I don't remember. So when I watch things, I get really up in my head. Okay. It's hard for me to watch things because I'm like, oh, I could have done that better. Oh, why'd they use that take? I get super critical, which is not healthy. So I try not to watch a lot, especially early on, because I was so nervous that I was afraid I would freak myself out even more if I watched it.
I vividly remember one of the first episodes where we got to determine as audience what was going to happen in the episode. And we got to call a number and they're like, thank you for your vote. And I must have been 10 or 11, but it was the coolest thing. And I felt like I was really part of it. And from there, I just got hooked on SpongeBob. I felt like I was really there. It was such a moment.
Yeah.